What is up, bros? Welcome to the All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we got a couple things in Weekly Watch that we're going to discuss. All of these are roses. I was a freaking lame-o this week and didn't end up watching shit.
Hey man, that was me last week, so it's all good.
Yeah, I did. I've been watching so many shows though, like a ridiculous amount of shows, and like, it's gonna get worse. Like, don't expect me to watch any movies for a hot minute because I have shows I need to catch up on. Like, I've been waiting for the Penguin to finish because I was just gonna binge all that in one go. Then I was gonna watch Agatha All Along, and so I needed to watch so I was going to binge all that at one go. And I have a bunch of other shows that I'm trying to like just wait till they finish and then binge them all.
Respect it.
Yeah. So like I said, it might be a hot minute before you hear shit from me. So just so you guys are aware.
Hey, as long as you're watching something, that's all that matters.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll get into that weekly watch here in a second, and then we will be getting into our breakdown of Joker Folie, which I have thoughts on.
I feel that we're going to be different on this movie just by the face that you're giving. Dude, the face that you're giving.
First, spoiler alert, first watch was kind of rough.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So with that, let's say we get on into this.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Hello, my name is Brucker Nurse, and I want to tell you about my fun horror movie podcast called Autopsy of a Horror Movie. On my show, I like to have fun dissecting out what makes a horror movie scary, what worked for it, what didn't, what types of fears does it play off of. Is it an allegory for any sort of message? I don't know, but let's find out. Also, I like to watch slashers. I'm a big slasher guy, so I'll watch a slasher and do a kill grade for it. I will cover the kills and I will tell you how I would grade it based on shock, method, style points, and a fourth category that is a reflection of the movie. Besides those, I'll have fun with special topic episodes, commentary tracks, interviews with guests, including some Shudder directors, so I just like to have a fun time over here. If any of this sounds interesting to you or you just want to come check me out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere they listen to podcasts and search for Autopsy of a Horror Movie. Also be sure to find me on Instagram at Brucker Horror, where you get fun updates and some cool little posts that I do. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you get to enjoy the show, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
Alrighty, getting into this week's weekly watch. Like I said, the only person that ended up watching shit this week was Rose. So Rose, would you like to tell everyone about what you watched this week?
Would love to. So for a very long time, people have been telling me that I need to check out Terrifier, the Terrifier franchise. Like, these movies are gory as hell. If you love watching guts spilled, watch these movies. Like, Art the Clown he's a horror icon now, and I absolutely agree with everything that these people have said. Because holy shit, dude, are these movies freaking brutal. Like, oh my, like, imagine just a guy dressed as a clown, literally cutting a girl in half, all while smiling while doing it, just like laughing at what he's doing, not saying anything. Like, Art the Clown is a mime. He doesn't say shit. All he does is facial expressions and stuff like that. But it's so messed up just watching him literally in this first one, he has a girl chained up by her feet and literally goes from her, area and saws down all the way down to her head.
What the
saws
shit?
Her right in half. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? And then, dude, it just kept getting like more effed up as not only this movie went on, but when I got to the second one.
Oh my god!
When I get to the second one, I got one death, and I'm just like, oh, Like I literally didn't have a reaction because I'm just like, people say that Michael Myers is messed up, Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Leatherface. No, I think Art the Clown takes it. Like,
Dude, could
this
you
guy knows how to make
imagine
an
freaking Michael
impression.
Myers watching this movie and just being like, Jesus?
No, like seriously. I could do like literally. I can imagine. I feel like the person that would be just like, even I'm not that effed up. Would be Freddy Krueger watching Art the Clown do what he does to his victims.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Dude, I have been wondering what the hell this character's from because I've seen him on like so many TikToks and Instagram reels and YouTube shorts. Like I've seen him on freaking everything, and I had no idea who the hell this guy was.
yeah. Now you know
But
Art the Clown from Terrifier.
yeah, dude, apparently the guy who plays him likes to go to Comic-Cons and stuff dressed up as Art the Clown.
Dude, like that makes me so happy because you can tell this guy's having the time of his life, and that makes me so happy because he does an amazing job. Like he truly has become a horror icon to me. And I mean, I've only seen the first two movies. I plan on checking out the third one in theaters this week, and I'm really excited about it. But just like talk about this first one. It's the shortest out of all three because the other two are over 2 hours. This one's not even an hour and a half.
Oh,
And it's
geez.
like, yeah, and it's like a very like simplistic story that there's these two girls that are partying on Halloween. Art the Clown starts following them and just terrorizes them all night, and chaos ensues and shit gets very, very bloody. Like, oh my god. And then other people are killed along the way. But just yeah, what a way to start me in this franchise, and then it just got progressively like more effed up as not only this movie continued, but as I got to the second one. So personally, I feel like, I mean, I could be different with the third one. But for this first one, and honestly the second one, I'm just going to spoil it right now. I feel that they're both stream it movies. I don't think that you need to see these in theaters. And honestly, I feel it'd be a lot more fun to see these at home because you can just watch these with a couple of buddies and just point out how effed up Art the Clown is for what he does to his victims. Like, oh my god, dude, like there is one scene in the second one that is engraved in my head and will be until the day that I die.
Oh my gosh. Dude, how new are these movies?
So this one came out in 2018, the first one. I think it was
Really?
it was either 2016 or 2018, and then the second one came out in 2022.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I mean, at least with the stuff I've been seeing of him lately, I honestly would have guessed that he was a newer character. Or at least newer than freaking 2018.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think because like the first one was, I mean, definitely a low budget horror film, and compared to the second one, yeah, the budget was definitely raised. But I think it took a little bit for people to realize who Art the Clown was, how honestly how cool of a horror character he is, and just kind of finally check out the first movie. It got its popularity, and I'm assuming that's what convince them to make not only a sequel but a third one.
Horror movies like that, like, they definitely hit their stride when they come to streaming or
It's
when
true.
when they're on digital, and then and then the freaking cult decides to jump on board, and then so it doesn't surprise me at all that a character like this is popular because, I mean, from what I've seen of him, like, he's got it all. He's got the silhouette, he's got the look, and from the sounds of it, he's got the freaking movie, like, gore and everything to back it up, so,
Yep.
I mean, have
Yeah.
at it, Art the Clown.
Yeah. Dude, freaking did you see the Spirit Halloween animatronic for him this year?
No.
It's so perfect. It's literally him. So in one hand he's holding the like bicycle bell that he uses in the second one. And then he's wearing those, have you seen him wear those like flower sunglasses?
Yes.
Okay, so he's wearing those, and then in his other hand, he's just waving, and he just swerves back and forth and presses the horn every couple of times, and like it's a simple animatronic, but like he looks amazing. Like, because Party City also did an animatronic of art this year, and freaking the Spirit one looks so much better. Like he actually like
Nice.
looks like he was just ripped off the screen. It's great. But yeah, so as for the first one, like out of the two that I've seen so far, because like I said, I haven't seen the third one, but I'm very excited to check it out because I've heard that there is a scene that like people actually had to walk out of at the beginning that because it was like so messed up. Yeah, dude.
Oh
Dude,
shit.
these movies do not come to play. They don't mess around, or they come to play. They don't mess around. So like go after I finished this one, I'm just like, damn, okay, like that was pretty messed up, like there were some gory parts, but you know what? I'm assuming that the second one's gonna be about the same. No, the second one just cranked it up to 100.
Nice.
Good lord. So yeah, so like I said, first Terrifier, stream it. Easy stream it. It's a lot of fun. I had a good time. And yeah, like if you get a couple of your friends together, watch this on a fun on a movie night that you're wanting to watch something spooky horror movie. This is the perfect pick. And I would say the same thing with sequel Terrifier 2, which like I said is even more messed up, because there is a scene where he's killing this one girl in her bedroom. I'm pretty sure I had to rewind because I'm just like, did I just see him do that? He literally cuts into her back, starts like cutting it out, and then peels it back. While
Oh,
he's also and then while he's also like stabbing her in the front, I think, or some shit like that. But dude, it gets so much worse. We don't see him like skin her, but her mom gets home. She comes up the stairs into her room and finds her daughter skinned on the bed. Like literally, you can see her skeleton, and she's still alive. She says, "No," and she goes, "Mom," and Art's just like laughing. He's just like looking at the mom, pointing at the daughter, just like literally laughing hysterical. And I'm just like, I am never gonna be okay again after seeing that one scene.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, it was so messed up. I'm sorry I
Holy
had to tell you in
shit.
detail. But
Holy balls, dude.
yeah, it's freaking the yeah, I knew that this was going to be better than the first one, or I knew it was going to be a really good sequel. When the opening after, because they talk about like how like the first one was like the whatever city they live in's massacre, because like literally this one takes place, I think, just a couple like a year after the first one. And so like the or yeah, I think it's a year, or maybe actually it's no, actually no, it's right after. My bad. Yeah, it's right after. Because literally the when we catch up with Art, he is he goes to a freaking laundromat, and literally you just see him like take off all of his bloody clothes and throw them in for a wash, and like you see him just in his underwear and like an undershirt, and he's just sitting down and like reading the newspaper and just laughing at what he's reading.
Oh my gosh, dude.
uh
I thought I knew what I was going to watch this holiday or this Halloween season. You might have made me second guess myself.
Dude, honestly, I would not, just because I would be worried about Iris walking in on you watching this.
Oh no. I wouldn't watch something like this in the family room.
Oh, okay. All
This is
right.
something I'd watch outside,
Oh,
like,
okay. All right.
yeah, under the safety of solitude.
Okay. Um,
But
I mean, dude,
holy,
I don't know if you can handle this much blood and guts. Like, the,
I I don't know if I could either.
like,
Honestly, I will be watching something else now.
if you thought, dude, this I feel laughs in the face of Saw for how gory
No
and bloody.
shit.
Dead serious, dude. Like, these movies are they want to show you as much blood, body parts being cut up, body parts being cut off as much as they can. Like, they earn that freaking R rating. Hell, this actually might be NC-17, and I would understand why.
Oh, let's look it up just for shits and giggles.
I think the third
Terrifier.
one's rated R, but like I wouldn't be surprised if the second one was NC-17.
Terrifier 2's not rated.
Oh, that explains it. That tells me everything I need to know. There's like, yeah, we knew we weren't going to get an R rating, so we didn't even bother sending it to the NPAA.
Yeah. Something like that freaking intense. Dude, hearing about it is freaking nuts. Like, what's this guy also known for? Oh, he was in. Oh, he played in 2016 and 17. I guess there was a Nightwing show. Like
Really?
oh, it looks fan made.
No. I mean, that's not always bad.
Yeah, but he played Joker.
Yeah, then this role was perfect for him.
Yeah.
Because guy knows how to like do facial expressions to a T. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, he played Art the Clown was like his first, like I'd say his first big movie. He did a couple voices in a video game. He did an English voiceover for, I'm assuming, some Japanese anime. Yeah. Then yeah, so Art the Clown was his first big thing, and then he did a couple, like a podcast series, that little short or TV series for Nightwing. He was in Gotham, and there was just like a couple little things here and there, and then Terrifier 2. Then he was in the mean one.
Oh, really?
So the Grinch, like horror movie that they made, and he played the Grinch.
Okay, that's perfect then. Well, now I kind of want to watch it now, actually.
And then let's see, Bupkis. What is Bupkis? Oh, it's just Pete Davidson.
Oh, okay.
It looks kind of like just like a filmed podcast situation.
Huh.
But he played Art the Clown in that.
Okay.
And then he was in a movie called Stream.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. It just looks like another horror movie. But he was in that, and then Terrifier 3. And he's got a couple things in the works.
All right.
Oh my gosh, he's in that Steamboat Willie horror movie.
Oh my
or he's going to be in that one that comes out next year. It's called Scream Boat.
Oh, good lord.
And he plays Steamboat Willie.
That
is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Dude, I kind of want to watch that movie though.
The Steamboat Willie one?
Yeah.
It
looks like it's going to be so ridiculous. Yeah, right? Maybe we'll do the mean one for December.
Dude, I am so down. You have no idea. I think one that we've got to do, since we did the first one, we got to do Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey too. Because like I've heard, like, I don't know, I heard it was so much better than the first one, but that's not saying a lot.
I know, when the bar's on the ground, like it's not hard to step over.
But they said that like this one is actually watchable. So I kind of
that's saying a lot,
right?
Shit, but yeah, I'd be very down for that.
Okay.
Since we missed most of October, we could just make December our horror month.
There we go. Hey, we had some things come up. It's okay.
Yeah, true that.
But yeah, like, just I'm not gonna get into the details with the story because I don't want to spoil anything for people that haven't seen this. but like there like some ways that they approach like the whole like it being a massacre, him art being a serial killer, um the brother sister thing where like the brother is like kind of obsessed with serial killers and he wants to go as Art the Clown for Halloween, even though the massacre just happened a couple days ago, um which is like really really messed up. um but yeah, just I think this movie's maybe just a little too long. I don't think this really needed to be 2 hours. Maybe just cut it back a little bit. Um, but it's just so messed up, gory fun that, and I don't even want to say like it's fun, but like I feel bad saying that for like how gory this shit is, and like how they're like the way that he kills people. You're just like, no one should go out like that. Can't we just go back to or just stab to death and it's like a quicker death than being freaking just skinned alive?
Yeah.
Like
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 whole that dude, the whole skinning alive thing has always terrified me.
dude, like same here. Like he literally, so Art he carries around a trash bag with like all of his tools that he uses. So,
Oh man.
saws, knives, hammers, a bat with nails in it. Also, Art uses guns. Like he will literally use any weapon.
Shit.
So, yeah, dude, Art
So a killer without a real MO.
yep.
Is he paranormal in any way?
I think he is
But
for how
there's
he
never
comes,
been anything like definitive about that.
cuz the way that he comes back in the second one, like it kind of has to be. And then don't get me started on the end credit scene for this one that leads into the third one, cuz like oh my god, literally okay, just cuz like, do you plan on ever watching these movies?
Honestly, I feel like you've piqued my interest enough where I might.
Okay, then I'm not going to spoil the end credit scene then, because like I'm glad that I stayed, or I'm glad that I kept watching because I didn't think that there was going to be one. Um, but it's just like so like what the fud did I just watch? Like why the fud did you set up the sequel like that? That like my eyes burn from watching that.
Oh no.
Like what's his name? Damian Leone. Like this guy knows how to write effed up shit. Like good lord. Like I, bravo to you, man. My good sir, Mr. Leone. Like I didn't think that people could like bring new blood to the horror genre, but you, sir, have delivered that tenfold. Like
Oh
wow.
man, dude, and it's low budget. They did freaking practical with that shit too.
Oh yeah, it you can definitely tell that it's
Oh,
practical, which I really appreciate. But also it's really gross.
yeah, I can imagine.
I don't, dude. You know me. I do not quease in horror movies. Like blood, guts spilling. That doesn't get me. The scene where that girl is skinned alive, and you see the scene with her mom coming in. That scene almost got me. That almost got me.
Oh man, I don't know if I am going to think twice before I turn this on. But
You know what we should do is we should just the next time I'm out there, we should just have a marathon of all three of these.
of all three, I would be down for that.
Okay, maybe maybe we should do that. Maybe we should both be in the room for watching these together.
Yeah, I would be way more down for that than trying to watch these on my own.
Dude. That's completely fair because throughout both of them, especially the second one, I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Dude, Brielle claims that she loves gory movies. I this kind of makes me want to be like, you want to
You
bet?
sure about that?
You sure about that? Like just to test her, just be like, let's see.
Yeah, dude. This is like the perfect tester.
Man. And then what were you giving this one?
Oh, this one's a stream it as well. Like don't get me wrong, both of these movies are so much fun. I had a great time with both, but I feel that they're more fun enjoyed at home, with some friends, just having a fun movie night together and just enjoying Art the Clown just mutilate a bunch of people.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Holy shit.
But yeah, that's all I got for Weekly Watch, and I am super excited to watch the third one. At least I think I am.
It's always a good time when you're unsure.
Exactly.
It's like, hell, I could be, could not be. Like it's
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's as up in the air as everything else going on. Oh shit. Oh yeah. I forgot.
I was like, wait,
I'm
you're leading this episode.
Yeah, I forgot. But yeah. So anyway, without further ado, let's move on to this week's breakdown.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, like we said, we will be breaking down Joker Folie to this week. So, yeah, if you are new to our breakdown system, can you tell how excited I am about this one?
I'm super excited, dude.
I'm pumped for the conversation. The movie itself was meh at best.
I'm very interested because so Caleb's only seen this movie once. I've seen it twice. I'm very interested to see how you feel on a second watch. You know, once it comes to streaming and everything.
Yeah,
I'm very interested.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, if you're new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit through our algorithm and give us a letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade. So if you have not seen Joker Folie, we are going to be spoiling it for you. So Rose is going to be completely ruining this movie if you have not seen it. So,
which, judging by the box office, a lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
Just,
personally,
that kills me.
You're fine. But I know Rose probably has a different mindset on that.
No, I think you should go see it.
Yeah. So with that, we will be posting that spoiler warning now. And if you choose to listen beyond this point and anything's ruined for you, sorry.
Yep. The joke's on you.
Yeah. So with that, we will get into our favorite segment that we like to call Reading with Rose.
All right. So, in an animated sequence, the Joker is impersonated by his shadow, who takes his place to perform his singing number for a TV show and then abandons him on stage before 3 policemen arrive and beat him.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this part out.
Oh.
Never mind.
Okay.
As you were.
Okay. All right. Arthur Fleck is in custody at Arkham State Hospital awaiting trial for the crimes he committed 2 years prior. His lawyer, Mary Ann Stewart, plans to argue that Arthur has dissociative identity disorder. Disorder, and his Joker personality is responsible for the crimes. At a music therapy session, Arthur meets Harleen Lee Quinzel. Lee confides to Arthur that she grew up in the same neighborhood he did, had an abusive father who died in a car crash, and was committed after burning down her parents' apartment building. Lee also expresses her admiration for the Joker's crimes and personality. During a film screening of The Bandwagon, Lee starts a fire. She and Arthur are caught trying to escape, and Arthur is placed in solitary confinement. Lee visits him to say she is being released to avoid his influence, but promises to attend his trial, and they have sex. I love how I had to point that out. Usually, I feel plot descriptions don't point out when characters have sex, but I think this is one of the first.
Yep.
During an interview with television personality Patty Myers, Arthur sings to Lee through the television screen, deepening her love for him. On the day of the trial, Assistant District Attorney Harvey Dent calls witnesses who dismiss Arthur's claims of insanity. During a break, Marianne reveals that Lee was actually a psychiatry student who grew up in the Upper West Side, and her father, a doctor, is alive. Furthermore, she voluntarily committed herself at Arkham, checked herself out, and never burned down an apartment building. When Arthur confronts Lee, she confesses that her lies were an effort to get close to Arthur, but also tells him that she is pregnant and has moved into his old apartment building to create a home for them. At the trial the next day, Arthur dismisses Marianne and represents himself. After bringing Arthur's former coworker Gary Puddles and neighbor Sophie Dumond to the stand, Dent rests his case. Arthur, visibly affected by Gary's testimony, offers no defense, although during his speech, he mocks the Arkham guards and indicates that they abuse him. Returning to Arkham, he is taken to the showers room by head guard Jackie Sullivan and two guards, where he is brutally assaulted before being dragged to his cell, partially naked. Ricky, an inmate and friend of Arthur, verbally confronts the guards, resulting in Jackie strangling him to death. During his closing argument in court the following day, a devastated Arthur reannounces his Joker persona, taking full responsibility for his actions. Enraged at this, Lee storms out, and the jury finds Arthur guilty of murder. As the four-person reads the verdict, a car bomb explodes outside the courthouse, killing and injuring numerous attendees and scarring half of Dent's face. I feel they could have showcased that a little more. Because
that was horse shit.
Yeah, like that was not that evident. Like, come on. In the chaos, two followers help Arthur escape. Arthur wanders through Gotham City and encounters Lee outside his old apartment, but she rejects him for renouncing his Joker persona. As she leaves, the police apprehend Arthur and bring him back to Arkham. The next day, a young inmate approaches Arthur and begins telling a joke before repeatedly stabbing Arthur in the abdomen. As Arthur bleeds to death, his assailant carves a smile on his face while laughing hysterically.
Is that what he was doing back there?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, because for what I heard, that's supposed to be the real Joker.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I thought it was, like, not even knowing that, like, the carving thing was happening. Or I don't know what the hell I was thinking he was doing back there. Like, all this, I thought he was taking the blood and, like, wiping it on his face or something like that. Maybe I just wasn't seeing it that super clearly. I was focusing on Arthur.
I was doing the same thing.
I had a feeling, though, that everyone was going to make the claim, that's the real Joker. I'm like, is he, though? And, bro, Harvey, you mean to tell me that he was further away from the explosion than Arthur was, yet he got absolutely mutilated? I'm calling shenanigans. And it wasn't even like perfectly spread across his face. It was literally like there was a line.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is some horse shit. If I ever
honestly,
saw
like,
it.
I don't know. It didn't even look like a burn. It just looked like soot. Like,
yeah,
that's that's all that it looked like.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, are you?
Can you guys try
me?
Like, try a little more, like, to tie it in to Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face?
Yeah, like, they needed to do something else, because in every other iteration of shit. In every other iteration of anything that has to do with Two-Face, it's because he gets acid poured on his face.
Yeah.
So my question is, why didn't you just have someone like freaking chuck like an acid bomb at his face? Or like something like right before the bomb explode, or right after the bomb exploded. You could have had something like that, and then have people like charging inside the courtroom, grabbing Arthur, and then while he's getting pulled out, you see Harvey get freaking bushwhacked with the acid bath.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Like, you could have done something a little bit more prominent, kind of keeping true to your source material, which I know this is kind of an Elseworld story, so it's not technically like Batman or anything
Yeah.
like that, but I mean, still, like, you could have done something.
Yeah.
Dude, just getting into the story here, this was a lot. It was
It
too much, honestly.
Personally, I don't feel it was. I don't literally the only thing that I don't like about this story is I think the opening animation is so out of left field.
It is
Like,
very out of place.
that just feels it makes no goddamn sense. Like, literally, why do we need that? Like, let's just start how they, like, literally right after that animation, it's we're at the state prison and we're introduced reintroduced to Arthur. What's wrong with opening the movie like that?
They needed another musical number or some bullshit like that.
I guess so.
The animation
But
was alright, though.
yeah, the animation was good. It's just like even watching it a second time, because like the first time I'm just like, okay, what the hell is this? And then, like, when the actual I feel movie started, I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, this actually feels like Joker. This feels like a continuation of the first one. Um like, even the second time I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, like, this is like all right, but like it still feels so unnecessary. Like, hell, like, it maybe if you like included that as like before the actual movie started, it's just, like a fun short before the movie. Yeah, I guess I'd be okay with that, but don't actually make it part of the damn movie.
Dude, I wouldn't know where to put that. Like, if you were doing, like, a complete reorganization of this movie, it feels like you said, it feels so out of place.
Yeah,
You might as well have just not put it in.
I'd be okay with that.
Like, I would have been more okay with, like, almost not a complete retelling, but just a recap of what happened in the first Joker.
That's kind of what I thought they were doing, because I thought it was just recapping like the whole night at Murray Franklin's show, but clearly Murray's not there. It literally says the Joker show featuring so and so. So yeah, clearly it's his own show. Like, this is all about Joker. So it like, is it supposed to be like, oh, like someone who's like a super fan of Joker made this, and just this is showcasing like how people people care more about the Joker as the symbol rather than the person behind the makeup, Arthur. And I feel the rest of the movie does a really good job with that. Personally, I feel that throughout, like, people that actually, like Arthur only like him for Joker. They don't actually care about Arthur Fleck. And I feel the rest of the movie does a good job showcasing that, and as we get towards the end with it. But just the animation, just it's so out of place. I don't like it.
They I think the mistake that they made with that is I think it would have made more sense or kind of fit more with the tone of the movie had it not be like if you would have like made the shadow kind of represent Arthur, where it's like trying to get away from the Joker and
Yes,
like
I
trying to
love that.
separate himself or whatever, and it's like it's the Joker persona that's grabbing him and pulling him along and like forcefully like dragging him to be part of things that he doesn't want to be a part of.
That would have been so much better. I would have loved that.
Yeah, like just to
What the
fit the
hell?
tone, and you still could have had that like that very old timey 19, like what would you say, 50s style animation,
Yeah, I would say so.
like maybe even like a little later than that. Like it seemed pretty modern, like early Looney Tunes kind of stuff,
Yeah, there we go.
or maybe even like pre Looney Tunes. Like whenever they started introducing like color to, to TV,
Yeah.
but no, it's like you had something that just completely did not fit the tone.
No, not
It
at
didn't
all.
even like fit the message of the movie. There was like it was nothing. Like this is something that I'm like, this is where you could have done like more or less like a bit of a spoiler about what was going to happen, where maybe like the animated Joker persona falls in love with uh like Harley, and then Arthur's just kind of like keeps trying to get in the middle of it, and it's just push away, push away, push away, and then like that kind of shit.
Yeah, dude, freaking yeah, you could have written a way better animated sequence than they did.
Yeah, like it's just the tone of that was completely off, and I feel like a majority of the movie was kind of like that too. It was just the tone was just off. Like there's
Yeah.
just I don't feel like the courtroom drama thing I didn't necessarily care for. And then obviously like and then it jumped to like the guard stuff, like when he's in prison and all that. I would have preferred that him and Harley like escape and kind of terrorize Gotham a little bit more. And
And like I I feel see, this is what sucks about marketing is that usually, so for the most part you'll get exactly what you're marketed, what you're promised, like from trailers and shit. I feel that this movie is marketed so horribly because there are a lot of scenes in the trailers that we don't see of Lee.
yep.
Um, and we are promised, like, yeah, oh, this is just Joker and Harley just going insane. They're ruling Gotham. Whereas no, it's a story of, Arthur being in prison, him meeting a girl that actually likes him, that wants to be with him. Like she's the one that actually like initiates the feelings first. And her doing like everything that she can to try to get him out of prison, just showing her support, just showing how much she cares about him, and then ultimately to find out that, oh, because you don't want to be Joker anymore, I don't care about you. That's all that I cared about. I don't care about Arthur Fleck. All I care about is Joker. That's the only person that I wanted to be with. Um, and personally, I love that story because I feel that the first one is the rise of from Arthur to Joker. This one is the how do I say this? Um, we're going backwards from that, where Arthur wants to go from being Joker, from being like the symbol of Gotham, to actually people wanting to see him for who he is. He wants people to see him as Arthur. He doesn't want to be Joker. But as the movie progresses, he like honestly he's like so hyped up from all these people at his trial, from Lee, um even the guards, saying like, "Oh, do you still think you're a star after, they made that TV movie about you?" But ultimately at the end, he finally realizes, "No, this is not who I want to be. I want to be Arthur Fleck." Um and the
Dude,
whole
you know
scene with
what sucks about this
huh,
whole thing?
well,
The only people that really seemed interested in Arthur were the guards.
yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, they're the ones that were like, I mean, yeah, they were making fun of him and they were like picking on him and bullying him. But when he started going Joker, they started treating him super different.
Yeah, that's true.
But before that, when he was playing art or when he was being Arthur and like, "Hey Arthur, you got a joke for us today?" Like he kind of has like a rapport with them. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not a good French, like they're not solid buddy or anything. Like, and that was just evident when Joker tapped the dude on the back and he's like, "Thanks, buddy." And then he's
Yeah,
like
just freaking
smacked him in the
bam.
bed. Yeah,
I was like,
smacked his ass.
damn.
I'm like, shit. I'm like, yeah, you forget you are a prisoner, like
Yeah.
bitch. But but like
Uh,
you get that sense that they're kind of like buddy, at least a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like honestly, I feel like because oh my god, what is the main guard's name? I forget
Gleason,
it. Gleason,
or
thank
like
you.
that's I mean that's the actor's name, but
Okay. But like throughout, I feel like even at the beginning, like, yeah, he still treats him like an inmate, but like you can tell like he does actually like Arthur. Like he warms up to him even just a little bit, because like during the scene when they're at music class and they're kind of taking a little break and he starts singing and Lee calls Arthur over, he sees him go over there, but he doesn't try to stop him.
Yeah. Like there's a, like I said, there's a little bit of a rapport there, and he actually like cares about Arthur in a sense, like as much as he can without it being like a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to break him out of prison or nothing, but he's like,
No.
"Hey, let the guy live a little." Like thinking that
The
he's going to be basically in jail for the rest of his life, but then the Joker starts coming out more and more, and he's like, "We hate the Joker."
Yeah. Like
Like, and he
freaking
he starts like bad mouthing them and like and all this other shit, and like, yeah, it's like a betrayal more or less. It's just
yeah,
like,
no,
oh
that's a
well,
great way to put it.
yeah. So it's just betraying the. It's hard to say friendship. Like it's so fud up, but
Yeah.
it's just
But like you're not wrong.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
it's like
all he pushed away, like the Joker coming out, pushed away all of the people that actually cared about Arthur. One being
yep.
his lawyer, and two being the guards.
Yeah.
And then him embracing Arthur and coming back to that is what pushed everyone else away. Like pushed away Harley, it pushed away all of the fans and whatnot, and released what you want to call quote unquote the real Joker.
Yeah.
Like it was an odd way to go about it. Like I think in theory, like on paper, this story is good. The execution though was just a little rough.
Yeah.
Like I think there were too many sequences that were like pretend. Like, and I know that
That's fair.
the first Joker kind of played on that a little bit, where it's just like, oh, what's real, what's not. I think this should have just stuck with what was real.
I don't know. I feel for the way that they want to showcase how much Lee cares for Arthur. I guess honestly I can say Joker because she really doesn't care for Arthur. Um
Yeah, she doesn't give
I
a shit. Like, like the second that he like that she comes running out in the hall and does the whole like gun to the head thing. It's like you knew that wasn't for Arthur. That was for the
yeah.
Joker. Arthur
Oh dude,
just
freaking
took it for him. Or
yeah.
took it as
Oh
like it
dude,
was
I feel like the one scene that is so clear that you're just like, yeah, she doesn't give a shit about Arthur is when she visits him in his cell and she has to put the Joker makeup on him before they can do like before they can have sex or just do anything.
Yep.
Like she wants to only and she even points out she's like, I want to see the real you, and to me the real you is Joker. It's not Arthur Fleck.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the amount of fantasies that they had, I feel were perfect in my opinion, because I think that we needed to see what Lee saw and also how what she pictured their lives to be, and also no, honestly, it was mostly what Lee saw, because in every single fantasy that she was envisioning, it was never Arthur. Like it was always Joker. Like suit, makeup, green hair. Never once was it Arthur Fleck.
Yeah. Arthur was kind of the same way. Like a lot of his fantasies were he was the Joker.
That's true, and
But I
I
mean,
feel that
he didn't he have a couple where he was just himself?
um
I don't remember him having one where it was him.
I don't know if he did actually.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the biggest fantasy that Arthur has is the one in the courtroom. The Joker is me. Um and yeah, he's in Joker makeup there. But I mean, like that one makes sense because Lee convinces, well, okay, I guess Lee doesn't convince him, but after he fires his lawyer, he convinces himself that I can be my own lawyer, but the only way that I'm going to be able to do it is as Joker. I can't do it as Arthur Fleck. Like I'm more outspoken. I'm more comfortable actually putting my defense forward and talking around people as Joker. And so it makes sense as to why when we lead into that fantasy that it's not Arthur, it's Joker.
Yeah. And that whole sequence, dude, was sad. Like when he was defending himself and he'd gone full Joker, and like you knew Harley was there for it. And I think that like the most heartbreaking was a mixture of his old neighbor. Like that one was just that one was rough to hear from. Like, oh, his mother didn't even think he was funny, thought his life was pathetic. All of this, like hearing all this shit, like right before he fired his lawyer, I'm like, damn.
Dude, like, because we got like a little glimpse of to how shitty his mom was in the first one, but this one just freaking was ice or cherry on top for how she said that he was put here to spread laughter and joy. That's why she called him happy, and she couldn't believe that he actually believed her for saying that.
I'm like,
just like,
dude, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god,
dude, his lawyer, I think, was getting the job done.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude, 100%.
Like I was completely on that lawyer's team. Like Harley does not give a flying shit about you.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
like,
the reason why she's sitting all the way in the back.
yeah. I'm like, ugh, dude, freaking rough, super freaking rough.
Dude, hers was like, like that one definitely hit. But when Gary got on that stand,
oh my
god,
dude, Gary broke my heart.
Dude, same here. Dude, I was like, I teared up the first time I saw it. I was bawling the second time when he's. I mean, this is more so writing, but when he says, what is it? You were the only one that didn't make fun of me. You were the only one that was nice to me when at work. You're like, oh my god, like freaking,
and then he's like,
knife in the heart.
And he's like him going on and like, you are the one that like made me realize just how small and powerless I am. And like it brought me back to that scene where after he'd killed that one dude and he basically scared the shit out of Gary, just and like started like laughing at him and just like yeah. Like of course the dude felt like he had to ask him for help to open the door, dude. Like the toll that would take on someone's psyche. Like that
Seriously.
Yeah, that scene, dude, it brought me back to that moment and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like I couldn't like I really enjoyed seeing the aftermath of what happened in Joker. I think that was honestly the most interesting part of this whole movie. Like seeing what happened after, like to the survivors and everything.
Yeah.
And like hearing like the guy whose son was killed, like the freaking jerk college punks.
The subway guys.
Yeah, the subway guys. Which I think I remember when we were talking about that, I'm like, they kind of deserved it.
They did. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say right now, they deserved it.
I still stand by that.
Yep, same here.
But understandable from his perspective, or like from the dad's perspective, like why he was like flipping out. But yeah, I think there was a lot of good parts to this story. Like, I don't know, the courtroom drama part worked well for a minute. Like, I don't think there was too many scenes where it worked super well, but there were scenes like with Gary, with the neighbor, like some of those testimonies were really good.
Yeah.
Like really freaking good. It's just once it got this the other shit that I was like not as impressed.
No, that's fair.
Story-wise though, like it's close to average, I'm putting it a little bit below. I'm sitting at like a 72.
Really? Damn. Okay. No,
Yeah. It
completely understandable.
This was not nearly as good as the original or the first Joker.
Completely get it. Personally, I think the story's really good. There are some definite parts that kind of do take you out of it. There are definitely some slow parts, and freaking talking about the animation at the beginning. Just don't get me started on that again. But I feel that the story is a good continuation of the first one. It's the characters still feel the exact same, and I feel where they take Arthur in this movie, I honestly loved. I loved watching the world just praise him for being Joker, but him not him wanting that at first. Like he loved being in the spotlight, but then realizing, you know what? No, like I actually can't. You just see me as Arthur? Like what's wrong with that? Also love that they dug more into how with the whole two personalities, Arthur Joker, his mental disorder, just everything. I loved what they explored, not only with the story expanding on these characters, but especially how they expanded the story around Arthur. I loved that. So personally for the story, um I think I'm gonna go an 82.
Fair enough. Moving on over to writing, I do feel like the writing was significantly better than the story. I think there were
Okay.
a lot of really good lines that came out of this. Like we just talked about Gary's whole speech. I thought that was really well written and talking about how he felt like super powerless and small and everything like along those lines. And I loved how they wrote in like the like Joker defending himself. It felt like a mixture of Arthur and Joker, where he's
Yeah.
talking with his ridiculous accent and then he's just like no, Gary, I did like you.
Yeah.
And it just like letting that Arthur slip, and then I think Harley started to notice and that was bothering her.
Yep.
And so like there's a lot of like really smartly written stuff there. Um
Oh, dude, I loved. I mean, we find out as the movie progresses that she was lying, but I love how we're introduced to Lee. Like she does the whole, like fake gunshot in the hallway, and then she notices Arthur being brought to music class for the first time, and she's like, is it really you? He's like, yeah. And they have that conversation in the hallway, and she's just talking about how, shitty her childhood was, how her father abused her, her father died in a car crash. She tried to burn her whole family's apartment down. That's why she ended up there. So like for a minute, like you honestly feel for this character for what she's been through, but then you find out it's a complete lie. She just did it to try to get Arthur to like her. But like I don't know. I feel it's a very good introduction to the character, and as the movie progresses, I feel you don't hate her. um well, I don't know. Did you hate Lee as the movie went on, or did you like Lee?
I started to not like her pretty early.
Real okay.
Yeah, as a character, as like
Yeah.
I mean, the characterization of her I really enjoyed, but as like as the character, no, I stopped liking her pretty early on. Like
No,
once
that's
it came out that she was lying to Arthur, I was super suspicious of her. I'm like, no,
yeah.
this isn't flying. Like I don't
That's
know
I
who the hell you think you are.
And I think that's what I because this Joker story is completely different than the classic DC stories that we get for any of these characters. And so I like what they did with Harley in this version, that yeah, she does the classic whole oh, I'm infatuated with the Joker, but I went through exactly what you went through. I remember me and my friends walking up those same steps going to school, just like really trying to sympathize with Arthur, that like, oh, these two have been through the same shit together, compared to the original Harley where it was just nothing but infatuation with Joker. Like in this one, like for a minute you could actually understand why these two would get along so well, because they're almost the same person. um but as the movie progresses, we learn that she's a liar. And I honestly loved that. Like I loved this different take on the writing for Harley. I know this is more so like character development, but I feel that's more so with
Yeah.
that's character development is more so Arthur. That's it's Arthur's story. um but I appreciated not only the writing for Arthur, but also the writing for Lee, for how they differentiated these two characters from the original source material. Like Todd
Yeah.
Phillips did a great job with both of these characters.
Yeah. Like this version of Harley really worked for this version of Joker because you like this isn't the Joker that we know. The Joker that we know did not give a flying shit about Harley.
Yeah.
Like Harley was obsessed with him, he could care less. All like his obsession was with Batman.
Yep.
And if it wasn't Batman, he could give a flying shit. And here it was opposite. It was uh it was Arthur that no one really gave a shit about. And
Yeah.
one of the things I wish that they would have played up on a little bit more was the Joker show like deal. I wish that they would have
Yeah, that's fair.
incorporated that a bit more, like throughout the fantasies. Like I would have liked to see
That's
more
fair.
of
Yeah.
that, just so it's like very obvious that it's a fantasy,
Yeah.
and then had like those sequences where it's like Harley gets introduced and everything's going great and grand and he's in love and blah 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 blah, and then you hear the betrayal, and then you see those like very like artistic shots where it's like, okay, he's been shot, like betrayed by Harley or whatever, and it's I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of that versus like the random ass uh dreams or daydreams, whatever that he was having.
Or that, like the one of them dancing on top of like the Arkham Hotel,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
exactly.
No, I can definitely agree with you there. Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, the way that like the other characters are written, like I really liked how that journalist, the one that was interviewing Arthur, I loved how he was written. I loved how the lawyer was written. Like anyone that was personally dealing with Arthur, I loved how they were written. Like the ones that actually seemed to care about Arthur and not just the Joker.
Yeah.
Um
Oh,
and
dude,
then
like
I
his
feel like
freaking
like the dialogue with the random fans was super generic though.
yeah, that's what, like the two that like grab him at the end after the explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Freaking as they're like, like he's like coming to, and you're just focusing on them, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's finally happening. And you see like a firefighter drive by, and the guy's just like, F you, F you. I'm like, really? Like, come on.
Yeah. Dude, Homeboy looked way too close to Arthur. Like I would have pulled
Yeah,
his ass over.
dude, seriously. That makeup was too good.
Yeah. Like I would have
The
freaking bought
guy
like, "Oh
definitely
shit,
did
is that
his
the Joker?"
studying.
Yeah.
Dude, like
Absolutely.
straight up. Um But yeah, no, dude, I agree with you. Like all of the characters from the first one, their writing was so good. I especially agree with you with the TV reporter, like how he kept like trying to twist Arthur's words, being like, "Oh, so you're saying that what happened on the Murray Franklin show, that wasn't Arthur, that was the Joker." And like even that's how he starts it. He's just like, "So should I call you Arthur or the Joker?" And his lawyer's just like, you cannot ask him that." And then he's just like, all right, okay, it's time to start, but she can't be in here. She has to be freaking far away. I'm not dealing with her shit.
Dude, people were disrespecting her. Like, we need to stop this now. And he's like, we're not stopping. I'm like,
Yeah,
bitch.
dude, freaking! But I think it was the scene before when Jackie, Jackie, the main guard is trying to, I think, get him to go to this interview, and the one guard that's like sitting at the desk was just like, hey, he's signing, let him sign my book. And Arthur's, starting to, like actually like sign something nice. He's about to put on a happy face. And the guy leans over to Jack. He's just like, it's going to be worth a fortune after they fry his ass. And freaking Arthur just crosses that off and writes, I hope you get cancer. And then puts his classic smiley face.
Dude, that was genius.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I felt super bad for him. Because it's like these people, like, in some way, like, some of these guards, like, I feel actually cared a little bit in, like, their own, like, twisted way. And then you get that one that's just like, oh, he's just out for clout. And yeah, it freaking sucks. Like, these movies did a really good job at making you feel bad for Arthur.
They really did. And not only is it because of the writing, but also talking about acting, it's Joaquin Phoenix's incredible performance, not only in the first one but this one. Like, I fell in love with Arthur Fleck all over again in this movie.
Yeah, this is one I think the writing was pretty good. It was definitely above average on this one. I'm probably going to give this about 10 higher than story, so I'm putting this at an 82.
Hell yeah. I'm just going to be slightly above my writing at an 80. I'm trying to think. I'll go an 84.
All right, moving on over to acting. For this cast list, first up, we got Joaquin Phoenix, who played Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker. We got Lady Gaga, who plays Lee Quinzel. Brendan Gleeson, who played, I think he was a warden or just the guard, Jackie Sullivan.
Yeah.
We got Catherine Keener, who played Marianne Stewart, who was Arthur's lawyer. Then we got Jacob Lofland, who played Ricky Moline. Is this the guy that stabbed him? Or no? Or is
no, that's his no, that's the like his like only friend in prison. That was, there with him during when they were like smoking on the bleachers. He's the one that's killed by Jackie.
Right.
When he's strangled to death. So I felt like he had a decent part in the movie, because dude, his death was so sad.
It was super sad, dude. And then Arthur just like laying there, just listening to it. Like,
yeah, that was rough.
Then we got Harry Lottie, who played Harvey Dent. Again, probably like this was not a good intro to Two-Face.
No, I mean, and we'll never get this version of Two-Face again, because one, Todd Phillips said that not doing another one, and looking at the box office, and James Gunn has been like very distant with this movie. So yeah,
I honestly don't blame him. Yeah. Then we got Lee Gill, who plays Gary Puddles, and just heartbreaking
Seriously.
scene, dude. I almost completely forgot about him until he started walking in the courtroom. I was like, man, this is not going to be fun.
Yeah.
Then you got Zazie Beats, or is it Zazie or Zazzy?
I think it's Zazzy.
Zazie Beats, who plays Sophie Dumond, who was Arthur's neighbor in the first film. Yep. She comes back. And then we got Steve Coogan, who played Patty Myers, who was the journalist that was basically egging Arthur on to release the Joker.
Yep.
Kind of a small role for this guy.
Yeah, no, like seriously. I mean, he was great for what we got from him, but yeah, that was very shocking.
Yeah,
You
dude.
get Steve Coogan for your movie, like
Is
get
it
more
just
than
me,
that.
or was his voice like ridiculously deep?
Yes, a lot of people have pointed that out. Like, it seemed like he was definitely having a hard time, like, doing an American accent, and that was like the only way that he made sure that like um, his um, his like native accent wouldn't come through. Is like having it as deep as possible.
Honestly, it worked.
I agree.
Like I couldn't hear freaking British accent whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I couldn't either. So I mean, it was deep as hell, but that's okay because it was really good.
Yeah. Um Obviously, I think everyone knows what our number one's going to be. Unless you're
Yes.
throwing it at Harley.
No, it's still walking.
Yeah, figured.
Like he just once again incredible performance. I love him so much in this role. I haven't seen a lot of Joaquin Phoenix's other work. I honestly should because I think he's a great actor. Um, but there's a reason why he won for Best Actor for the first one at the Oscars. Unfortunately, I don't see it happening with this one.
I would be genuinely shocked if this got a nomination for anything.
I agree, which I feel is unfortunate, but I get it. But just yeah, once again, he gives his heart and soul to this role. I The pain, emotion that you see in Arthur is just heartbreaking. And also like the freaking what Joaquin puts his body through for this role, like for how much weight he had to lose just for like how skinny Arthur Fleck is. Like, holy
Did
shit.
he lose all that weight again?
Yep, he did.
Holy balls, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Like that is commitment.
No
That is
joke.
that is Christian Bale level commitment right there.
Straight up. Holy crap. I thought like the reason they kept him in baggy clothes was because he couldn't lose all that weight again.
Hmm. No, no, he lost it all again. Because even like during
Damn.
a an interview, they asked like, oh, like, hey, like you're kind of getting up there. Like, are you sure you can still like keep having to lose weight for these types of roles? And he's just like, yeah, I guess you got a point. Maybe I should stop doing that with how old I'm getting, like, and actually stop putting my body through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, get yourself to a healthy like in a healthy vibe. We will forgive you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like eat a sandwich, dude. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
No, dude, like seriously. Um, but
And
yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and some of the stuff that I swear was not a stunt double that he was doing, like when he freaking fell against that wall after like he'd gotten stabbed by that inmate and just kind of like collapsed against that wall. I was like, that didn't look fake.
Yeah, no, that looked extremely real.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit like that I'm just like,
Mm,
jeez.
yeah.
But yeah, obviously number one going to Joaquin.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking we're in agreement with number two going to Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah, she was fantastic in this. The Have you seen any of the behind the scenes or like press tour of them together?
No, I
It's
have not.
so it's actually like really like they have really really good chemistry. Um and there is like when he's like talking about her, he will actually like ask her like, "Oh, is should I say Gaga or can I say Stephanie?" Like he'll actually ask if it's okay if he says her real name.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like what a gentleman. But there's one interview that they're doing. It's so funny. They Lady Gaga reaches for a glass of water, and Joaquin thinks that that she's giving it to him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh," and so she grabs the other one. He's just like, "Oh, wait, was this for you?" Oh,
That is fantastic.
it's so funny. Uh,
I've been
but
avoiding like I avoid interviews and stuff like that because they tend to spoil some stuff. So
that's fair.
Yeah, that's why I was avoiding it, but I'll have to check that one out. That one sounds
Yeah, dude.
hilarious.
Yeah, like they're so respectful to each other that I think they have great chemistry off screen and on screen. I thought these two were great together. They bantered off of each other so well. I believed the love story, the fake love story, unfortunately. I truly believed that, that Lee loved him until
She didn't.
we found, that she just only loved Joker. And Lady Gaga's performance was, I thought it was amazing. It was on the levels of Joaquin. She was truly the perfect pick for this role. They were, I feel, for the universe that they set up with this, these two actors were perfect for this version of Joker and this version of Harley Quinn. So yeah, like Joaquin Phoenix just slightly better, but no disrespect to Lady Gaga, because she freaking brought it in this movie, and I loved every minute that she was on screen.
She is an incredible actress. She is so freaking good, dude.
Yeah, and she doesn't get enough credit for that.
She doesn't. But yeah, her role in this, like you could feel her, like her love for Arthur, and like you said, until you couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
And it almost makes me wonder, like, if I assume she was the one that like set off the bomb. Like that was just my assumption. But if she
I never
was,
thought about that, but
yeah.
that does make sense.
But it also makes you wonder, like, was she trying to free him, or was she trying to kill him if it was her? And then, like, because she seemed pissed and like completely turned him down. Like like when she said, like, we had the fantasy, we had everything, we had this, and then as soon as she said we had the fantasy, I was like, oh shit! Like I was devastated, just devastated.
Same here, man.
But yeah, she sold that so incredibly well, and I loved her for that. What's your number 3?
Number 3, I would give to the guy that played Jackie Sullivan. Was it Jackie Sullivan?
Yeah,
Or is it a different last name? Yeah, Jackie Sullivan, Brendan Gleeson. I loved him in this role. He was great. Freaking just especially his interactions with Joaquin were just like fantastic. Like every moment that he was on screen, I loved watching him. Definitely the best. He was the funniest guard out of all of them. He was the guard that you really got to know the most. And just, yeah, like he was great. I loved him. So
same here.
he's my third.
He was so good. My number 3, though, I'm actually going to give to Lee Gill.
Completely fair.
Yeah, who
That is
played
completely
Gary
fair.
Puddles. His scene alone like stole the movie.
Oh, dude, just freaking breaks your heart. Just the line, "You were the only one that was nice to me." You're just like, oh God.
Yeah, knife to the heart. Like it was so rough. And like, yeah, this is the scene that got me like crazy emotional. I was like, man, and like I said, flooded me back with all the memories of the first. I was like, damn. So yeah, I'm definitely giving him my number 1 or number 3.
That's
What's the where you sitting at with your acting?
I feel acting was great across the board. Like everybody brought it. I thought everyone just did a great job. So acting, I think I'm gonna break a 90 and go a 90.
I'm actually sitting right there with you at 90.
Hell yeah. Let's
Yeah, I
go.
mean, the acting's good. Like the only thing that I feel really sucked about this was the story. Everything else was pretty decent or above average.
Yeah.
All right, moving on over to character development. This one's a little tough to do.
That's fair, because I feel like if you're looking at both of these movies, I feel that you kind of have to look at the character development from Arthur for the first one as well as the second one, because in the first one you see a down on his luck kind of guy that basically is pushed to his limits, reaches the end, and finally says, enough is enough, and becomes who we know as the Joker. And then the second one is him deciding, okay, you know what? I hid, or no, not hid. Everyone loves me as this character. They don't love me for who I am. They love me as this character. And that's not who I want to be. It takes him a while to get to that. But once we reach the ending, like he's finally, like, yeah, he's lost everything, but at least, and this is like really sad to say, at least he dies knowing that he's finally just Arthur Fleck. Like
Yeah.
he's just him. That's really sad, but like at least he knows that. And so I feel like if you're looking at the first one along with the second one, because it makes sense. It's a sequel, so you want to look at the character development in the first one and this one. I think it's a really good character development personally, because you see a guy go from the worst at his worst, feeling like he's at top of the world, and then finally going back down to, you know what, maybe actually I just want to be what I was at the beginning. I want to
Yeah.
just be me.
Like, who he was at the end was, like you said, purely Arthur Fleck. And he opened up about killing his mom.
Yeah.
And to the jury, and was just like, I did kill those people. I killed 6 people and one on national television. Like, I did this. And I think just him kind of almost getting rid or sending the Joker persona away was really powerful, for especially seeing where he came from. Because you'd be remiss to not include the first Joker in this breakdown.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, in terms of character development, because it's just, you see this character come so far, and then it's just, you think that he's like top of the world as Joker, and then he's sitting on top of the world. Like, he has all of these followers, all like everything that he thought he wanted. And I think it's just progressively he got to the point where he realized that that's not what he wants. And I think it was hearing all these testimonies of people being like giving the brutal truth about him. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say his neighbor being like his mom thought he was a joke. Like, he made me nervous and all this, and I didn't call the cops because I didn't feel like he was a threat, and obviously that was wrong. Like, just spitting these truths at him, and I think at a certain point it started turning into a show where he was pretending to be Joker, and you could tell that his whole like mannerism kind of changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was sad. It was truly sad, like what happened to him. And you feel it, like you feel
Yeah.
this full-heartedly. And yeah, like you said, when he dies, knowing that he's just purely Arthur, but he still kind of gives like almost like that respect to people. Like, when he's just like, hey, I have a joke for you, you could tell that he kind of doesn't want to be there, but he's like, okay, is it quick?
Yeah, it's just so many people have talked about like what if when he's told that he has a visitor, and then the one inmate stops him in the hallway. So many people have contemplated that, was that a setup by the guards, or did he actually have a visitor? What are your thoughts?
Interesting. I didn't think this was a setup.
I didn't either.
I didn't get that vibe. I mean, the guard was rushing him and being like, let's go, Fleck. And like giving him like that whole shtick. So I think that's maybe what sold it a little bit more than it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a little bit more suspicious, like if he'd been like, "Hey, you got to get," or "Yeah, you have a visitor," and then he just disappeared in the hallway, and then it's like, boom, you got like this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
feel
that's
like it
true.
was a complete setup.
Who do you think his visitor was, though?
That's a great question.
Many hope it was Gary.
They hope it was Gary.
Yeah, they hope it was Gary.
There's no way. There's no freaking way. Gary's too busy in therapy to visit Arthur.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Um,
Oh, poor Gary.
that I don't know, but honestly, now that you're saying that, it very well could have been a setup.
Yeah.
Like, because who else would have? Like, Harley kind of wrote him off.
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't have
So
been Lee.
yeah,
I don't
so
think it would have been his neighbor. I can't think of anybody else that would go to see Arthur.
I know.
Like his old lawyer?
Maybe.
That
That's a hard maybe.
Yeah, right?
I can't think of a single person. So honestly, not being able to think of someone that would visit him, unless it was like a fan.
Yeah, maybe.
Like like that's the only like person that I feel like would show up would be a fan. But they all kind
Yeah.
of seemed like pissed off at him. So
Yeah. So like I
probably
don't
not.
know. I like to if like there's no one that makes sense for there to be, or like it's a hard stretch for them to be his visitor, I kind of just like to think that it was a setup,
Yeah.
as effed up as that is.
I would buy setup.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm trying to think of anyone that they set up in the like the first, or because I was thinking like, oh, could it be like Thomas Wayne? But I'm like, nah, like he's dead.
Yeah. It's true. And I don't think that, this movie only takes 2 years after the first one. So we know it's not going to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's
Still a
still
kid.
talking to a child therapist.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, it's doing nothing.
Oh, man.
But I mean, character development wise, like this was a really interesting arc. Definitely one of the more interesting ones. I think this one, I think the structure of how it was told was just like slightly off. So I'm sitting at like a 79. Like I'm not quite cracking an 80 with that one.
I think I am cracking 80s, and I'm just a little higher than you at an 84.
Fair enough. All right, moving on over to effects. There weren't any real special effects. I mean, there was the animation at the beginning, which the animation was beautiful.
Yeah, that looked great. Yeah, the animation looked great. It's just actually what was in the animation that just felt very out of place.
Yeah.
But we've talked enough about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Other than that,
but
they
like
kept it practical.
they did, like literally. I love that. It felt like they shot it the same. All the set pieces were the same. Like literally, you could combine these 2 movies and it could just be one movie for how identical it is to the first one.
Yeah.
When it comes to its aesthetic, its effects, which I absolutely love. I love when a sequel can just be combined with its first, and it can just be one whole movie. Like hell, like one that I love looking at. To think about that can just be combined, the original Halloween and the original Halloween 2. Like literally those 2 movies could be one damn movie, just one close to 3-hour movie.
Yeah. I mean, practical. I don't think I noticed anything that was CGI.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, so I doubt they used any of that. Practical wise, in terms of action, very brutal. Very brutal.
Yes. Dude, freaking when they showcase like the courtroom fantasy, I feel is a great showcase of the effects here, because when he freaking beats Harvey Dent with the stool,
Dude,
and then freaking
that was insane.
Yeah, and then you freaking see Lee like take blood from him and just draw a smiley face on her mouth. I'm like, shit. And then freaking you see him walk up to the judge's stand and then beat the guy with a mallet
Yeah. Oh, dude.
or a gavel, whatever he uses. Or
Same
was it a
thing.
mallet or was it the gavel? Okay.
It was the gavel, but
Okay.
same
Like you
diff.
said, same thing. Yeah.
Dude, that like you saw impact.
Yeah.
Especially
Like,
when freaking Dent was getting the chair. Like he was a
yeah,
freaking
there's like,
WWE champion. Holy
dude,
shit.
yeah, like damn.
Yeah. Yeah, Dent got beat like he owed Joker money.
See, now if that was real and Arthur beat the shit out of his face, we could have said that's how he becomes Two-Face. I would have believed that more than how they
Yeah,
freaking
than what we
explained.
got. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like there were people closer to the blast that had their whole body intact.
Yeah. I'd be like, you know what, it's not comic accurate, but at least I can believe that more. Like, I can understand why his, face was mutilated, why he is Two-Face now.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're never going to get to see what came of that because nothing I feel would be satisfying.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, like I said, the effects were great. Action sequences looked good. Any like combat that they had looked good. I say combat; it was more brutal beatings, but it was
Yeah.
one-sided combat.
Yeah.
Like all of that looked really good.
Agreed.
So I'd probably put that 87.
Yeah, I think I'll match you there.
All right, next up we got music. This is a tough one.
A tough one because you hated the soundtrack, or
No, I didn't hate the soundtrack at all. I thought the
Oh,
soundtrack
okay.
was fantastic.
Oh, okay, good.
Is
Yay. Love
for
hearing that.
me, this is it worthy of a 10? Because I don't know if it is.
I honestly, I don't think it is. I think it's worthy of like a super solid 9. Like as solid as you can get.
Yeah. The set, like, it was missing that one banger.
I feel the banger is If My Friends Could See Me Now. That's the banger in my eyes.
Honestly, that was my least favorite song.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I've had that on repeat. I love that song.
I need to listen through this soundtrack again, but yeah, I
You
was
do.
not impressed. I was not impressed. And that sucks to say. That absolutely sucks to say.
That makes me sad because that's like Lady Gaga's like big I feel that's like, I mean, that's not her only number, but like that's like her first like big musical number she has in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting at a 9 there.
Yeah, same here.
All right, next up we got costumes. This was on par with the first. The only
Yes.
improvement was Harley's, and Harley's outfit was
They kept it very subtle throughout. Like, like the ending that we get is like classic, like red and black, like that looks awesome for like the last day of trial. But like, yeah, like you said, it's definitely not, I feel it's not what we expected, but I think that's okay. I was fine with it.
yeah. I mean, I knew that they were going to go a different route with this version of Harley, and I don't know. I think the eye makeup was just too subtle. I think they needed to go a
That's fair.
little bit more hardcore with it.
Like in the dream sequence for the Joker and Harley show, she has that like, blue eyeliner, still with the black makeup. Like, would you want it as prominent as that, but like maybe change it a little bit?
I would have liked to see her mimic Joker's makeup without the white face. And maybe like mix and match. So like have a blue diamond and then a red diamond. And then have like the red and then have the red smile.
Damn, yeah, I
Like,
would have liked that too.
Yeah, I would have gone a little bit more intense with it versus just the very light, it was just like a black diamond and then she like smeared the bottom so it like had a point to it. Like it
Yeah.
was just too subtle. I think she needed
Yeah.
to go a
Fair.
little harder with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if they would have just absolutely killed Harley's outfit, like I think the suit worked really well for her. Like
Yes.
it was like almost a scarlet red suit. Like I love that look on her.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that
Um,
looked great.
yeah, it's just the face makeup, and I think if they would have nailed the face makeup, I probably would be willing to go up to like a 9, but I think I'm sitting at an 8.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
Joker looks
tough.
great because it's exactly what we got from the first one. But no, I definitely agree with you. They could have definitely stepped it up a bit when it came to Harley's makeup.
Yeah,
Or Lee's makeup, whatever.
same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
last.
the fucking interviewer does call her Harleen Quinzel when they're having their interview, so I guess they do actually call her Harleen.
Yeah. All right, last up we got personal score. I'll go first because
Okay.
you had a more positive outlook on this movie than I did. I didn't hate this movie. If you're comparing it to the first Joker, it's a big decline. It is a big decline. But I think what maybe helped me was that I managed my expectations going in, because the first time you were just like, yeah, this is kind of shitty. And everything I'd heard about it just brought my expectations down to like a minimum. And I do believe that it met those expectations. And so I do feel like I might be viewing this a little bit more favorably. But this isn't a god awful movie. People walking out of this movie, utterly ridiculous.
Yes.
It's too much. People, like, come on. The movie's not that bad. If you could sit through Morbius, you can sit through Joker Folie I Do.
Yeah.
Actually, that might
Exactly.
even be too low of a bar.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Morbius isn't the one to compare this to. If you could sit through, you know what? Let me just put the score in, and we'll find out what you'd have to like equal sit through. I am going to be giving this a 76. I enjoyed it enough. This is one that I'll probably rewatch again just to see if I look upon it a little bit more favorably, because now I know what it is going into it, and I could like look for different things and whatnot. But I didn't hate this. It wasn't as good as the original or the first, and that's kind of to be expected. But people calling this like, oh, it's absolutely garbage. No, it's not. I've seen absolute garbage, and I would rather watch that than this. Or I'd rather watch this
I was
than
like,
that.
wait, what?
Jeez, I got way freaking turned around on that thought.
You're good.
Yeah, I would rather watch this than anything else that was like really poorly received. Like I'd watch this, so like obviously this is just bottom of the barrel movies, but I'd watch this above Madam Web. I'd watch it above freaking Morbius. I'd watch it above
Borderlands.
I'd watch it above Borderlands. Like there's a lot that I would watch over this. So yeah, I'm sitting at a 76. Very average movie.
No, it's completely understandable. So I remember, so when I walked out of this movie the first time, I thought, okay, you know what, that was all right. Kind of like what Caleb said, you know, like I felt it was getting too much hate. But I understood the criticism. Watching it a second time, considering I knew what I was walking into, my score actually went up quite a bit. I enjoyed it a lot more a second time. And just like, yeah, like Caleb said, it's not as good as the first one, but I still think it's a very good sequel. It's a good accompanying piece to the first one. Joaquin Phoenix once again brings his A game this time around. Not this time around, he always does. But once again, he brings it. Lady Gaga is absolutely amazing. Here as Lee Quinzel, just the whole cast is great. I absolutely loved the music. I can't stop listening to the soundtrack, honestly. And just like it's definitely, I'm sure, not the sequel that people wanted to Joker, because a lot of people can say that Joker did not need a sequel, and I will be one of those that admits that as well. Joker did not need a sequel, but for what Todd Phillips was able to create, I feel that it is a worthy sequel to the first movie. And honestly, I'm happy with what we got. I think it's a good film. It's not a great film, but I think it is a good film. So I am going to be exactly 10 points higher than Caleb, and I'm going to be at an 86 for my personal score.
Hell yeah. All right, going through these scores real quick, starting off with story, we ended up averaging out at a 77. Writing got a pretty decent bump. It's sitting at an 84. Acting is our highest category, sitting at a 90. Character development took a little bit of a dive, sitting at an 81.5. The effects were really good. They ended up sitting at an 87. The music is sitting at a 9 out of 10. The costumes are sitting at an 8 out of 10. And then our personal score ended up averaging out to an 81. So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Joker Folie Do has come out to a B.
All right, I'll take it.
Oh, I thought this was definitely going to be in the B- range.
I am so glad it's not.
Rose single-handedly saved this movie from being in like the B- range.
I'm either going to be praised for that or hated for that.
My money is on hated.
Yeah, mine too.
Damn. Okay. So Joker Folie Do is sitting at an 84.43%.
Let's go.
So yeah, that puts it pretty mid B. So
right.
our range for B is between an 83% and an 86%. So this is sitting right in the middle at 84.438 or 43. So that puts it on the exact same level as Prey.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I like Prey a lot.
I do too, and I also like Joker Folie Do a lot. So I like that.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Oh no. What?
Okay, I'm just gonna go with what it's below first.
Okay.
So this is sitting below Spider-Man 3.
All right.
It is below Christopher Robin.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is below The Matrix Resurrections.
Agree to disagree.
It's below The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Okay.
And it is below Megan.
All right.
Going the opposite direction.
Uh-oh.
Sitting above Avengers Age of Ultron.
Holy shit. Oh shit. Oh dude, we're gonna get so much hate for that. Oh my god.
It's above Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'm sorry.
Just wait. Just wait.
Oh no. Oh
It's
no.
above Free Guy.
I agree with that too.
It's above Thor Ragnarok.
I agree as well.
And it's above Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm going to agree. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed this movie.
What?
I mean, well, okay, for one,
Sonic
I think
the Hedgehog is a freaking... That's a hard sell.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a good movie, but the second one is better. And I'm sorry, man. I am I really, really enjoy Joker Folie. I do. As clearly as you can see for how much I boosted its score.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen, for any of you that are going to throw a fit about this, the
Caleb would like to
difference
say he is not with me. That's
first off, I am not with him. But no, the difference between those two movies is 0.6%.
damn. Okay.
The margins are so ridiculously tight, dude, on this. It's crazy.
Dude, if Michael listens to this, he's gonna kill me.
Oh,
If
you're
my if my if one of my old coworkers slash good friends of mine, Michael, listens to this episode, he's gonna kill me for that ranking. Ooh, for how big of a Sonic the Hedgehog fan he is.
yeah.
Sorry, man.
Dude, to get 1% away from that movie, you have to go down 16 movies before you're 1% away.
Wow.
Yeah, and 1% away is freaking it's 2019's Child's Play.
Damn. Holy shit.
Yeah, so 16 movies before you even reach a percent. So anyone who wants to throw shade, it is literally less than 1%.
Oh.
But yeah, a B, a bit of a tough sell. But I think talking, at least for me, but I don't think it's completely undeserved.
Right.
I do feel like a B is a decent home for this. But when you're comparing it to the OG Joker or the first Joker that we gave I believe we gave that an A minus. Yeah. We're sitting at an A minus, like literally 2% away from being an A. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like it does seem like a very drastically different movie, but the quality is, I mean, it's still somewhat there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only one that's given me some pause is the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh man.
But yeah. So anyway, if you guys liked, or that wraps up this week's breakdown. So sorry to any Sonic fans out there. If you
I am very
enjoyed,
happy right now. I just want to
yeah,
say that.
if you enjoyed this episode, want to check out more of our stuff, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are basically everywhere. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere. We like there's more places that there it'd be difficult to not find us somewhere. But yeah, we're also on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, anywhere you can imagine. We're at the All Bros, and you do have to search at the All Bros on YouTube if that's the way that you want to find our shit there too. Um, we are getting a little bit more popular. I have seen our subscriber count go up a little bit. We need to
Hell
beat
yeah, let's go.
those other All Bros
Yeah.
on YouTube. So get it at least so we're the first one that pops up. But yeah, so yeah, follow us anywhere on social media, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. You can also email us if you would like to do that, the Allbros channel at gmail.com. You can find links to everything that we do on our website, tinyurl.com/the Allbros. And yeah, we would love to hear from you guys. So like I said, links to all of that stuff will be in the description. Next week, we will be breaking down what I assume is the final installment of these Sony Venom series.
See, they say that, but in a recent interview, Tom Hardy said that he would love to come back for the character because he
Well,
loves
that doesn't
playing the character.
necessarily mean that like a movie.
That's true.
I assume this is the last Venom movie. I don't think this is the
Okay, yeah,
last
that's
movie
true.
with Venom in it.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to see
But
this version of Venom go up against Tom Holland.
a lot of people do, and I do as well. But I mean, hey, you know what? For how, I mean, let's face it. Like there are studios that promise, oh yeah, this is the last one. It's only gonna be a trilogy. Then they see how profitable the third one is, and they're just like, shit. I think we're making a fourth.
Dude, I would also really like for them to give Andrew Garfield that third Spider-Man movie and put him
He
up
deserves
against
that so much.
put him up against Tom Hardy's Venom. That would be freaking sick too.
That honestly, I think I'd actually want to see Tom Hardy's Venom face off against Garfield's Spider-Man more.
Dude, how cool would it be if Tom Hardy's Venom ended up being the Venom for both Garfield and Holland?
That'd be pretty badass.
That would be the shit. I would love that.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Oh, but yeah. So anyway, you guys can tune in next week to our breakdown of Venom: The Last Dance. Yeah, we'll be doing that next week. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we will catch you guys next week. Deuces.
See ya.